fact, we got the ferry from Nanaimo at 12:45 and are scheduled to arrive at Vancouver ferry station shortly before 3 p.m. The crossing is unfortunately not as spectacular as the one on the way to Swartz Bay. But in this glorious weather, we can clearly see the small lighthouse island and the high mountains in the Vancouver hinterland. The ferry station is a good 50 kilometers outside of Vancouver, but from a distance we can see the skyline of the metropolis on the Pacific. Even more spectacular is the view from above, because Vancouver is located on an island. Finally, we drive downtown with the RV. 20-story skyscrapers are the normal state here, but these are not office towers, but residential towers by the sea. Probably at exorbitant prices. At the marina of Yaletown we have found a parking space for our RV. By metro, there are 2 stops to the last stop, Harbourfront. This station is located in an old historic station building. Above the earth we see a mixture of old houses from the Victorian era and glass palaces of modern times.
Das alte Gebäude hier. Ja.
Our first destination is the Harbourfront.
Guck mal, da fährt gerade einer raus.
A Royal Caribbean cruise ship is leaving the harbour. On the opposite side of the harbour is Vancouver North. You can get there from Waterfront Station by catamaran boats. As we turn around, we see the so-called skyscrapers of various construction epochs, and the Vancouver Lookout, the observation deck overlooking the city and the bay. Various piers and moorings for the cruise ships, but also a shopping mall with restaurants and cafes. A terminal looks like a modeled 4-mast glider. In the port area, many waterplanes take off and land.
Etwas unsanft gebremst.
Then we walk through the portal, park on foot through the financial, economic and hotel district of Vancouver. We still see skyscrapers as high as the eye can see, all with mirrored windows. Long shadows cast high-rises in the setting sun. We'll also walk past the largest skyscraper in Vancouver, the Shangri-La Hotel. The outdoor area with its sculptures is worth seeing. A little further on, an oasis of peace with a soothing waterfall. In the summer it's certainly busier. One corner further is the historic Abbott House, the only surviving mansion. It was built in 1897 for the official of the Canadian Pacific Railway, Harry B. Abbott. Two blocks down, we're out of the financial district, running down Robston Street. A commercial street with two-story houses, some older brick buildings. Behind these houses the skyscrapers stand out again.
Beautiful night, looking for something good to do. Hey, baby, I think I want more. This is for you.
Meanwhile it's 7 p.m. and the streets are still busy. At Seymour Street we turn right. Here is a restaurant or pub next to the other, but also theatres and cinemas on a length of 1 mile. Many young people are traveling now at this time. All restaurants are well filled. We're not sure if it's happy hour or nightlife. In Yaletown, where our campus stands, is still high life. On Homer and Hamilton Street are former 4-story factory buildings. Again, life is raging. But it looks like a location of upper class. Just around the corner from our motorhome parking is a culture shed with an old steam locomotive of the Canadian Pacific. In the dark of the night we drive 12 kilometers out of the city. The next morning,
Das Interessante dabei ist, die haben ja keinen Fahrer, die fahren automatisch.
with the driverless metro, it goes back to the city. A day pass is comparatively cheap. Within 20 minutes we are back at the station waterfront. From there we take the trolley bus to Stanley Park. First, we have a view to the north of Vancouver with the Lions Gate Bridge. Along the way there are several sites. We pass a water playground for children, with a drying device. A sculpture with a Chinese dragon crosses our path. Just like on a stone in the water, the girl in a wetsuit. Probably an allusion to the Copenhagen mermaid.
Girl in Wetsuit. Naja, der richtigen Platz hat sie ja.
Many leisure enthusiasts are here in the park, whether on foot, on the bike or rollerblades. We continue to the Totem Pole Park. As we saw in Duncan, several artists exhibited their creations here. But apparently also spiritual rituals take place here. For us it goes past the lighthouse. The 9 o'clock gun is a British cannon that is shot every day at 9 o'clock. The statue of Harry Jerome is a very successful 100 meters runner of the so-called First Nation from the 60s. The so-called Hallelujah Point reminds of indigenous people who lived here until the 50s. With the bay in the front and the impressive skyline in the back, we say farewell to Vancouver.